welcome back to Plant Body Mystic. I am Dee, and today I'm showing you my vanity, and this is where I do my makeup. And today I actually have a self-tape that I have to film, and because I'm van life, I don't have a setup at home, backdrop lights, any of that, so I'm going to make it work as I go and figure it out. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So first things first, let's get my makeup done in my vanity. This is a tool, actually an art case that I think was my little sister's that was at my mom's house, and I think she didn't want it and it was just laying around, and I was like, I can make use of that. So this is what I put my makeup in. I've got my palettes there, lips there, brushes here, makeup wipes, there's usually one in there, I need to refill it, and foundations here. And this is like my little makeup satchel. It sits right in this little pocket, and I just pull it out when I need it. And I've got my makeup towel, as we all need. I put that in my lap, and let's get our makeup done. All right, so I've got my makeup towel in my lap, makeup case ready with my makeup wipes when needed. I usually light incense. I probably will go ahead and do that. So this mirror, as you can see, it comes down. So usually you see this face down on top of that. And then that's my incense and my, you know, little setup there. I am going to go ahead and light an incense before I start my makeup. So let's grab one from here. So we'll have a nice little scent going. And that fits perfectly right there. Okay, so I'm not gonna do anything fancy. I am just doing natural look, natural face, so I just don't want to be, you know, looking like a zombie. So I'm just gonna do very simple makeup, and I'm gonna start with a little concealer. And I'm constantly rotating this bag, but it's so handy and it's so quick and easy. So I'm gonna go in with my MAC concealer for the little under eye, and I had a pimple there, so I'm just gonna make that disappear and lighten my under eye. You do hear the breeze. I am at a park. And you may hear cars pass by now as well. And I'm going to use my old foundation. If I can get it out. Give it to me. Oops, I just slang some on my arm. And it didn't land on the brush. Alright, we got a little bit on there. I just like to go in and dab it in. I am one of those people that kind of do like a messy makeup, but it always comes out looking natural. That's the way I like it. And it looks really light because I've been in the sun, and I'm actually a couple shades darker, but I do have another one that I'm going to go over it with around my contour area. So don't fret. Don't fret. I'm not gonna go out looking like a ghost. As I can see how dark and sun-kissed that is compared to what I'm putting on my face. You see how reddish, more reddish? Well, I have got, this goes back. This one is L'Oreal 111 Infallible. I absolutely love Infallible. This is 111. So now that I am sun-kissed, I have 111.5. So it's got a little bit more red, a little bit more of the shade that I am needing. So I'm going to go in with that light in my contour area. So I did all this in the light area. And then I'm just going to hit that. And again, I'm a wild child when I do my makeup. I'm a wild child with everything I do. I'm just rough. And yeah, it's just the way it is. I'm going to use this brush. Liquid foundation complete. Alright, so for my brows, I've been using like a 2 combination product, this e.l.f. brush, and this is a deep brown brush with a pencil. And then this is one of those Precise liquid brow ink pens. One has a double line and one has a single line. I have been loving this thing. So first I'll just go in and give my brows a brush, but I'll also go in with these lashes because I have very, very wild curly lashes. They go all which directions, and they're always in my eye and getting stuck to my contact lenses. But give those a brush along with my brows. And this brow never fully grew back in as much as this one. They both didn't grow back in from like that teenage eyebrow phase where it was like super arched thin. Yeah, mistakes. So I'm gonna go in with the double first. I'm gonna do very light and natural today because again, this is for a commercial, so I try not to look too glam. I feel like the one commercial I did book, I actually wore no makeup, I believe. I think I barely had like a very light foundation on. And that is the only commercial that I've booked, and that was like back in 2018. Nespresso, the Quest commercial with George Clooney and Natalie Dormer, I believe that's her last name, from Game of Thrones. And my eyebrows are like, I'm already doing too much because they're a little wild. I like them wild, but sometimes they can get a little bit too crazy when I try to fill them in because they both do different things and they're never on the same page. I'm just gonna leave them bushy and wild and just like maybe do that. Alright, so that's that for the brows. Maybe I'm gonna fill it in a little bit here. This camera is, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, I'm gonna take the pencil actually, and I'm just gonna brush in a little bit. I'm just gonna brush in a little bit with the pencil. Just so it doesn't look gappy, but still not like perfect looking. Alright, done with the brows. Alright, so again, this is like a super natural look. So I'm gonna go in with my, you see that? I'm gonna go in with my Coffee Shop, my Juvia's Palace Coffee Shop, and then I pretty much do all of my eyeshadow with this one brush. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna just start with an all around with this light here. We'll just buff that out. And give the whole eyelid some warmth. So that's all buffed out, and then I will probably go in with a little bit of this over here. I don't know what shades, names or colors or numbers these are, but I love this palette. It's the perfect neutral, nude, earthy blend for my brown skin girls, my brown and black girls. Okay, so I think I'm getting a little too glam, but it's hard not to with the crease, because it's natural, but it's just like, you know. Oh, I'm gonna go in once more with, I'm not gonna do a shimmer. I'm gonna try this little taupey color and just kind of give that a little lightening, and then not too much, and then just go back in and just kind of buff it out again. A little bit more right there. Alright, and then just give it an overall soupy-de-doop. We're done with this. Shower, go. There we go. And we're done with this. So now I'm going to do a very light liner. I'm just gonna go under just a little bit, just like that, and a little bit over here. And that is it, my friend. I got this one. I don't like this mascara that much. This is the one that I was using, an Essence brand. That was waterproof. I don't want to put a waterproof on right now, but this is a Rimmel Wonder extension. It's too wet and too wide of a brush, so I try to scrape off as much as possible and then use it and just kind of brush at the edges first. And it already looks too glam. So since it's that super wet look, what I'm going to do is go in with my old dry brush and just kind of go in, because I don't want to look too glam. It's supposed to be like a normal person that works, like, you know, at a home improvement facility, not like a Home Depot, but like where you go and get new flooring and such. And I'm gonna hit the bottom a little bit just to open my eye out. I think I just put that all the way in my eye. See, child. Girl. And I did not do any blush because I feel like the darker foundation kind of gave me a little bit of a, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Had a little red tint to it. And that's it. That's all. We're going to put that back. We're going to put this back. And I am going to go in. Do I want to do a powder? I don't think I want to do a powder. I want to keep it natural. And I'm going to go in with a wipe and wipe my hands and my brushes off in a second. And then, oh, a lip. That's what I was pulling this out for. I'm going to clean this off. Now, my lips are naturally dark. And people always ask me, which used to get on my nerves, but they used to always ask me, do I smoke? No, I don't smoke. I never smoked. And I just have dark lips. and you can't do nothing about it. This is the color I'm going for here. This is a lighter neutral color. I'm just gonna buff out my lips, lighten the brownness of it, but not take it away, because I love my brown lips. I'm a black girl, brown lips. What other color are they supposed to be? Pink? I think so. That would look crazy. And that's already some, I don't know if you've ever noticed when I don't have a lipstick on that there's a lot of discoloration there, and that is because as a kid your girl was dehydrated as a teenager, and I used to always bite and peel the skin off my lips all the way down to the meat. I did it so much till skin just didn't grow back, and so it left me with that discoloration. And that is it, my friend. I'm gonna go in with this little vegan lip, cowgirl lip. I'm gonna wipe a lot of it off. I'm just gonna dab it just to give a little bit of a pink tint, but still like very natural. And that's it. Got my stuff ratchetly in here, no glamorous kind of way. I've been that type of chick. And this goes back over in my little makeup wipe stash area on the door that you saw earlier in the little B-roll. If I can find a spot for it so it doesn't pop out when I, you know what? Actually, this one needs to go here. I'm gonna put this in here. Can you see that? Fits right in there. And we are done. We are done. I'm going to give my foundation brush a swirl until I can get over to washing it fully. I like to do it at least, I need to do it once a week, but I don't always, because I don't wear makeup like every single day, you know? But I do the best that I can, as we all do. Alright, let's go find a spot to film this self-tape. And first, let's get changed into what I'm going to wear for the self-tape, and then let's go find a location to film it. I was thinking about filming it on this wall. I'll show you in a second, but I think I need to go to, like, looks like where I'm sitting at an office, or like a customer service desk type of situation. So let's go. Alright, we are going to turn this back into my little stationary setup that I had. This comes out. This sits right on top of there. Boom. Alright. Okay, so I am going to get some slack. So what I'm going to do is I am going to lift, or first I just like move this out of the way. I usually have these sitting here. I'm just gonna move this, and I am just gonna lift this whole thing up. And as you can see, I have my bins down here. That's my slacks bin. So this bin right here, and the sheet's in the way, these are slacks. So that's a green pair and this is a black pair. So I'm just gonna pull those out. And I have the t-shirt bin right here, and there are some new t-shirts that I just bought for auditions, and it's a light blue one that I want to wear. And let me see if I can find it without pulling it out fully. Let's see, maybe it's under the bin, maybe it's under, or maybe it's it over here. No, I think that's sports bras. Maybe that's... Okay, maybe I'm gonna have to use two hands. BRB. Okay, I found them. They're actually right here. They're all folded up together. So these are the t-shirts. And the light blue one is the one that I just had an idea that I should wear today. So I'm gonna wear that with the black slacks. I'm just gonna fold those back over. I have a couple more. They're probably just down there folded into another little set. So I'm gonna put that back for now, and then I'm gonna slide this, which is my nail kit, back in there, and I'm gonna release
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I almost dropped my Pop-Tart. I found the perfect spot, but I almost dropped my Pop-Tart.